In today's video, I'm going to talk to you how much is it costing us in terms of electricity owning a Tesla in the past 12 months. We live in Brisbane. Most of the time we actually charge the vehicle in our home or during the day as we're both working at home. And we drove to Sydney a few months ago and we used a few superchargers or so while we were gone out in Sydney, and in our holiday home, in our Airbnb, as well as at the holiday park, we just used a normal wall outlet overnight. So I'm going to go through to you in terms of our numbers. Bear with me a second. So based on our numbers as of, this is January 2024. At this stage, we've done roughly about 26,000 kilometers per in our vehicle since we actually own it. So in terms of our state of charge, okay. So year to year, we've done roughly about 3,000 kilowatt hours with an average of 25 cents per kilowatt hours. We've spent roughly about $861 worth of fuel or worth of electricity. So 88% of that is actually at home and 8% of that at supercharger when we were out and about. I guess that's the long distance ones in November, December, somewhere around there when we were in Sydney. And then the other 4% is, I guess, your holiday park as well as our Airbnb. So to break it down, that's for the month or for the whole entire year. As you can tell in there, we didn't utilize outside usage, let's say, outside charger compared to our home. Now, apparently, based on the petrol price, we would have been saving roughly about 1,700 or so, with the price equivalent at the moment averaging, well, in January apparently it's $1.81, $1.80, $1.79, 78. That's apparently the data that has been shown, averaging based on what I see. So versus, that's $1 a liter, let's say, versus 25 cents a kilowatt. So it is a little bit hard to calculate. I'm still learning about the car as well. We have this car roughly about 3 years now. Yeah, about 3 years. So our home being charged at roughly about 25 cents per kilowatt. Our supercharger is getting charged at 60 cents per kilowatt. The others, on the other hand, where it says 27 cents, we don't really know how much is being charged, because the other part is the fact that when we borrowed the Airbnb, for instance, they didn't tell us, oh, you owe us this amount for the electricity side. So the whole entire lot, $682 where is total value that I spent at home. And at a supercharger is roughly about $145. That's Sydney there and back and out and about around Sydney. And then the other part, other different charges roughly at $34 or so. So in month-to-month basis, and that was for the whole year between 2024 and 2025, January to January. This whole entire month, in the past 31 days, I've spent roughly 297 kilowatt with a total value of roughly about $75 or so. Now, mind you though, that $75 is actually not correct, because we're using the solar when we charge the car. On a day like this where it's a little bit cloudy, we're not charging the car. But if we have to, then we do it. On a Friday, on the other hand, I usually charge the car roughly until about 90%, no matter what, no matter weather condition, because on a Saturday, we're bound to actually going to use it, going to go out and about with the family or so. So yeah, and it's based on the amount, apparently based on petrol saving, we're saving roughly $166, equivalent to about $240 worth of petrol if this was a petrol car, let's say. And at the current stage, it's calculated based on $1.81 per litre in Queensland average. So overall total spent $75 and zero supercharges, zero other expenses on the vehicle or other charges out there. As you can tell in here, the days fluctuate because there are days that I actually charge the car that will take about 28 kilowatts, let's say, but there are days where we don't charge the car. We haven't charged the car since, what's that, the 6th, the 7th of January or so, because we've been staying at home. So yeah, gives you perspective anyway in terms of the fuel costs or fuel saving that you're going to have if you are buying an electric vehicle. This is the data that is coming out from the Tesla app themselves. But understand that those charging most of the time is taking from the solar. It doesn't take into account that, hey, you're charging on a solar panel using the solar energy where you're not getting charged any, because sometimes it's only utilizing about 3 to 4 kilowatts I guess input, whereas our production of solar is roughly about 10 kilowatts or so. But yeah, gives you perspective on that. Hopefully this helps you any way possible when it comes to charging your vehicle. How much does it really cost? But mind you, elsewhere though, you do get an update on the vehicle. We had like 3 to 4 different updates throughout the year. As the car mature, the more update you'll have, the more better experience driving that you will get as well. Yeah, that's just my 2 cents, guys, based on my I guess experience owning a Tesla Model Y here in Brisbane. If you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.